Well, I look, as I always do, with a managerial sort of a manager's job over time, a bigger picture, rather than this small micro window that we've got at the moment. Nottingham Forest have been out the Premier League for 23 years, and a multitude of managers attempted to get them back into the Premier League, including myself, and it's one of the most difficult jobs with the history of the club and the ownership previously and all of those type of things. Very, very difficult. Steve achieved that. He got this club from, as Ali said earlier in the show, 1 point at this stage of the season last year. For me, he was the manager of the year by a million miles last season in that achievement, in doing that with Nottingham Forest. You've got to turn around and say, we're only 8 games in. You don't quite understand maybe 22 players coming into the football club, how destabilising that can be. Who's brought those players into the football club? Are all of them being sanctioned by the manager, or are they partly down to the ownership as well? That's something we don't know from the outside. The one thing you've never heard Steve bemoaning is the fact that players have been brought into the club and they've not been sanctioned by him, which I think he holds his counsel brilliantly well. And when they were successful at the back end of last year and he got them promoted, he was very humble about that achievement as well. I certainly think I was in Nottingham on Friday night with a lot of supporters at a function, and I said, your manager needs your support now more than at any time he's been at this football club. I think they've got an outstanding manager at the club, and he has to be given time to settle all of those players into a rhythm of how he's going to play. That's how I see the situation.
Do you think he'll get that time?
No one knows in football, if I'm being honest with you, Laura. I sincerely hope so, because I think he's a good man, a good manager, and I think the fans are behind him as a man and a manager personally at this moment in time.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Laura Woods, Monday to Wednesday mornings 6 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.